everybody, I'm Tom Vasel and welcome to the Dice Tower. Today I'm talking about my top 10 anticipated games from 2024. Now, goodness, every year I do this and every year some of these games don't come out. I'm trying to get better at that. And the thing is, so for example, last year, from my most anticipated games in 2023, 4 games, Unconscious Mind, Seventh Citadel, The Dark Quarter, and Queen's Dilemma, haven't come out at the time of me recording this video. So I'm all excited about them, but I'm not going to keep adding them to the list. But they would probably all 4 have made this list. Hopefully I'll get to play all 4 of those this year. And of course, I don't really have any this is kind of guesswork. There's probably games I'm excited about I forgot about. But you know what? We all do like to look at the future. So these are some games I'm interested in. These aren't in any super particular order. My number 1 is definitely the one I'm most interested in. So we'll get to that in a bit, but let's start with number 10. Civolution. So this is from Stefan Feld, and we don't know a whole lot about this. This is the one we know the least about. This is basically a big, giant civilization game from, well, Stefan Feld. And that's interesting to me. It's also not from Queen. He's been working almost exclusively with Queen, doing those 20 city games, and that's fine and everything. But this one here from Deep Print Games, and they've done some pretty good stuff. Beer and Bread, Juicy Fruits, Savannah Park. And so I'm kind of looking forward to this one. A bigger Civ game from Mr. Feld himself. That's something I'm interested in. Number 9 and 8 are games I played before, but I'm interested to see the final copies. Number 9 is Forsaken. This is from Travis Chance and Michael Mielczyk. This is Game Trays is making a board game, and this whole thing is an open world. This really, when I played it, felt like an upgraded Western Legends, right? So in Western Legends, you're a cowboy running around doing stuff. Here you feel like a cowboy in the future. There's very much almost a Firefly type vibe to this. I'm sure that's not an accident either. But you have missions and going around, and there's story. It's very, very thematic. So looking forward to seeing this final product. And then A Message from the Stars. This is from All Play Games. And this game is just a phenomenal cooperative deduction game, word game. I really, really like this game. I'm looking forward to seeing the final copy and getting my hands on it. Okay, now let's go back to games I don't know anything about, just guessing here. An Age Contrived. So this is from Bellows Intent. And this one is interesting to me just because there's these, it looks like a pickup and delivery game. Let's read the description here. A fantasy Euro game of engine building and resource programming. You are a god in the Eldritch pantheon where you're only as powerful as the mortals in this unstable world as the mortals believe you are. So you have these transmutation devices, these things that snap things on the board. It just looks cool, but the main thing for me is this game looks different. It looks like a Euro-style game that has a different feel to it, and that is what's attracting me to An Age Contrived. Then we have Once Upon a Line. Now this one is on the razor edge for me of this could just really fall apart, but I really want to like this game. This is the first scratch-off adventure game. Now, scratch-off stuff is kind of a pain in the neck in best of times, whether you are someone buying those lottery tickets or you've played Pandemic Legacy Season 2. There's a lot of these here, but I like the idea you're scratching off these, finding hidden words, you get the cards, and everything matches, and I was watching the video on how everything works together, and it just looks really fascinating. So I guess this is sort of a one-time game in some ways. I guess you get another scratch-off thing to replay it. I'm curious to see if it plays differently from one game to the next, but it's definitely something I'm very interested in. Once Upon a Line. Dead Cells, the roguelike board game. So when this was announced, I didn't know anything about Dead Cells, so I went and played the video game and fell down that rabbit hole for a while. Dead Cells is a roguelike game where you go and it's like a little side scroll you run through and eventually you're going to die, I guess. At least I die all the time in this game. And you get upgraded weapons and things like that, and as you eventually get to different points where you get better and save things from game to game. And so I played it. I lost interest in it after a while because I guess kept getting the stuff that just kept whooping up on me. But it's an interesting game. having a board game based on it would not normally excite me. I don't think video games, the board games usually work. But Antoine Balza, Corentin Lebrat, Ludovic Maublanc, and Theo Rivera are some of the best board game designers in the world. And Scorpion Mask makes some pretty good stuff. So that is what's keeping me interested in this one, and that's what keeps it on the list. Critter Kitchen. This is the sequel to Flamecraft. Not really, I think, but it's definitely leaning in that direction. From Cardboard Alchemy, your little creatures with a restaurant. I'm a big restaurant theme guy. I like the idea of preparing food and doing that sort of stuff. So that intrigues me. With the cute artwork and everything. And there, like I said, Flamecraft was a very, very good production/game. So I have high hopes that this one will be the same. Critter Kitchen. Then we have Malia Lands of Legends. I think of all the games on this list, other than maybe the one from Stefan Feld, this is the one I know the least about, but it looks really interesting. So I am kind of getting a little over these adventure games. Not over them, I love them, but there's just so many to learn and play. But here, you are crafting things, and it looks, when I look at these pictures and look at the different pieces of the game, it looks almost, the look of it is a little bit like maybe Adrenaline or the CG games, but it doesn't look complicated. It looks nice and simple and symbols, and I kind of like these story type games. This is, I think, most of these designers, it's their first game, but La Boute de Jeu makes good stuff. I've liked most of their games in the past, and 4Universe, the other publisher, is the only game that they're doing. But I'm this one, for some reason, the way it looks, the clean graphic design really has me interested. Number 2 is Flow. This is from Pika Games and Andrew Bosley artwork, and Henry Audubon, Johnny Pack, and Yoma. This one just looks gorgeous. I love everything about how this one looks. It's a fantastic theme with the animals and ice. It almost looks like a sequel to the James Hudson games, the ones in the water, but this one's in ice. But Henry Audubon designs games that are not particularly complex normally. This one looks like the most complex game he's done, but again, that doesn't make it look that complex. But again, clean graphic design. This has the look of a blockbuster style game, and I'm here for it. Very interested in checking this one out. My number 1 game, though, that I'm looking forward to this year, with hands down, not even a question, is Clank Legacy 2, Acquisitions Incorporated, Darkest Magic. Clank Legacy is my favorite Legacy game I've ever played. It is so much fun. And I have a second one coming from Dire Wolf and Paul Denon. Just fantastic stuff. We know nothing else about it, and I need to know nothing else about it. Clank Legacy was a fantastic experience going through and playing that, and I look forward very much to the sequel to that. So those are my 10 games I'm looking forward to, and like when I was going through this list, there were dozens more that I really am interested in also, and I'm sure tomorrow after this video goes up, they'll announce another game I'm interested in. There's lots of cool stuff coming out, from Wormspan to other things. There's all kinds of games. It's a great time. But I just thought I'd put some of these down in the video. Let me know what your most look forward to game is in the comments. I'm Tom Vasel. We'll see you next time.